Hi, there's Mark Wickham, Amazon #1 best-selling author of Effective Pricing for Accountants. And in this short video, I'm going to share with you how to price bookkeeping the right way. I'm going to take you through 6 powerful ideas. So how do we price bookkeeping? Well, the first point I want to make is I think bookkeeping is something where there's a huge opportunity for accountants and bookkeepers to make so much more money thanks to cloud accounting. You see, historically, bookkeeping has always been perceived as low value and very price sensitive compliance work. But what cloud accounting allows us to do is to be much more efficient with the bookkeeping and then use the power of the cloud to add massive value to our clients. And the one thing we absolutely mustn't do is price based on time, which is the old historic way of pricing accounting and bookkeeping services. You see, when we price bookkeeping on hourly rate, we're throwing away so much money. We need to embrace value pricing. So how do we do that? Well, let me take you through 6 ideas that we can use as part of value pricing bookkeeping, which will get you much better results. And I'll also share with you some systems, some software that you can use to help you get those better results. So the first idea is that we need to make sure that we give our clients and prospects a fixed value-based price. And there's 2 aspects of that. Firstly, we have to make sure that we give clients a fixed price, because one of the major UK software companies back in 2005 did a survey of thousands of business owners. And one of the key findings from that survey was that the thing that business owners hate the most about accountants is surprise bills. And it makes perfect sense to me, because as customers we want certainty. We want to know what the price is going to be up front. And that's one of the big downsides of time-based billing. So it has to be a fixed price, and it has to be a price that's based on value. So how do we use software to give a fixed value-based price? Well, cloud pricing, which you can see on the screen, is a piece of software that allows you to ask the client a series of questions in the meeting, and based on the answers to those questions, it comes up with a bespoke, tailored price for that client. And that's the best way to price, using a tool, a system, a software approach so that every client gets a different price. So let's look at number 2. The second idea is one of the most fundamental things when it comes to pricing with value pricing, and that's recognizing that different customers value things differently. A big mistake I see over and over again is accountants and bookkeepers giving a single fixed price, which is, there's no link between that and value pricing. We have to recognize that values in the hearts and minds of customers, and so we have to give customers different choices, different options. If you think about when you go to Starbucks and buy a cup of coffee, you get a choice of 3 sizes. If you buy from Apple, they give you different packages, and you have to do exactly the same with your bookkeeping. Now, cloud pricing does that using a process called the tick list technique, and as you can see on the screen, it creates a series of different packages, bundles, so the client can choose which is the right one for them. So let's look at number 3. The third thing we want to do is make sure that we add value. You see, firstly, I believe that as a profession, as accountants, as bookkeepers, we should be focused on adding as much value as we possibly can to our clients. And if we're going to price based on value, it means that the greater the value that we give, we can also charge higher prices. So what you should always do with any service is think about, what more could I possibly do to give a better solution to the client? So when it comes to bookkeeping, thanks to the power of cloud accounting, there are so many things that we can do. And the cloud pricing software allows you to show the different packages and the value to your clients. Not only through the software itself, but I'm a big fan of creating brochures like the one you can see on the screen, using a professional design brochure that describes in detail all the added value stuff that you can do, all the ways that you can use cloud accounting to add even more value over and above the bookkeeping. Let's look at number 4. We need to educate. We need to better explain what it is that we do. You see, one of the things I've found is that as a profession, we're very poor at explaining value. And I know that when I was in practice back in 1996, I had no idea about how to communicate value. And the problem is, I hear time and time again accountants telling stories where they sat down with a client and the client is arguing over price because they don't see the value. And the reason they don't see the value is because we don't know how to communicate value. We have to understand the communication skills, we have to understand things like the contrast principle, we have to understand the turning features into benefits, and we have to understand some of the price psychology, for example. So we can do that using things like a brochure again. So let me show you this brochure again. One of the things you want to do is make sure that, as well as explaining the packages, go through in huge amount of detail, page after page after page of detail, showing the client, explaining to the client exactly what they get. And that's exactly what a brochure is designed to do and what the software is designed to do. Making sure that we explain exactly every feature, every benefit to the client, the pain to the benefit, the pain to the client if they get things wrong. Let's look at number 5. Once we've come up with our price, once we've come up with our value-based price, the 5th idea here is we want to make sure that we make the price seem really, really small. And this is where price psychology comes in. There are many techniques that we can use to make that price seem tiny. And I've built some of those into the cloud pricing software. Things like, for example, expressing the price as a monthly figure. That's using a concept called chunking it down, or don't reveal the headline price. We see this used in the leasing industry, used all the time, and it's because it's so powerful. Also things like price points. What does the price end in, for example? You may have heard of the power of 9 in the retail industry. Price points are really important. And how do you figure out the prices, for example, of different options? That's really important. The price of the middle option relative to the most expensive and the cheapest option are critically important when expressing price. And finally, number 6 is, if you want to be successful at pricing bookkeeping, you have to make sure that you customize the package to suit the client. So we said right at the outset that we have to give options and we have to give a price based on value, and different customers value things differently. So what happens when you create a price, a package, a series of packages, and you present them to the client? What if they're too expensive? Well, you need to have a system for changing the package, working with the client to get to a combination of benefits that works for them at a price that works for them. And if they're very happy with the package, you also need to make sure you customize the package to add in other optional extras that give them a better result and give them the opportunity to spend more money with you. Cloud pricing does that in a number of ways. We can open up a hidden 2-star level. We can, if the price is still too high, you can go into some hidden options that allow you to change the package in front of the client. And if the client is happy, then they can customize the package by buying optional extras. These things are all designed to work with the client to come up with the best package for them at the best price for you. So there's my 6 ideas for you. And if you're interested in finding out more about the software, then you'll find a link on this page. I'll see you on another video. Bye for now.